Like most wars, World War II, we saw a lot of minority groups in different communities within European countries face a lot of severe criticism and just outright intolerance. And some of those communities that were victimized specifically were communities like the Jewish communities in Germany, the people with disabilities in Germany, Slavic peoples, LGBTQ people, and just any kind of political opponent, such as communists or socialists. Um, in Germany specifically, the Jews were obviously part of a large, horrible genocide known as the Holocaust, and just an overall surgence of anti Semitism that is still very real today. And then also people with disabilities. The Nazis sought to cleanse their race, so they were pretty much just extracting not just the Jews, but pretty much anybody that they deemed as different or not as worthy. And in Asia, in Imperial Japan to be specific, a lot of Chinese civilians, Koreans, and Southeast Asians were relocated to oh my gosh, I lost the word. Concentration camps where they were forced to work hard, long, laborious hours with very little food and proper necessities. Um, One of the ways that both countries kind of victimized these groups of communities was through policies of exclusion, oppression, and sadly, extermination, which means genocide. Um, and then, so some of the mechanisms, or, uh, sorry, I hate being on camera. They used a lot of propaganda, which is very common during war times, but this was very heavily used during World War II, as countries really sought out to create a more unionized set of nationalism within their own countries so that the war efforts were more accelerated and people were donating money more and offering to be on the front lines more, and just an overall sense of nationalism and imperialism there. Then also pseudoscience, which is just like racial hierarchies that were in place, such as Germany with the Jews. They believed that they were higher than them and that the Jews were kind of a scapegoat for everything that had been happening with them economically and politically. And then also militarism was very common. Both the Nazis and Japan framed marginalized groups as threats to national purity or unity. And then all of this just helps us understand uh, kind of the human cost that went in to World War II, and not just the economical and political gain and loss that we're so often taught. I think a lot of times as students, it becomes really easy to become desensitized to topics such as this because it's taught from such a very young age and even kind of sugar coated a lot of times. And I think when you actually start to understand the different strategies that they used and different all the links that they went to just to demonize certain groups of people from being different than them, kind of really just puts on display the cost of war in all of its entirety.